everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan. Sounded like I said that wrong. And this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. It's been a while since I've been on. It's been a while since I put something on. I got a little discouraged. I think I said that I had some computer issues. My computer was not loading up YouTube. I might have figured that out. So either way, I'm going to start shooting again, and this is episode 292, and I want to continue forward on this because I really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy reviewing wines and helping you guys to decide whether or not you want to spend money on that wine or not. And I'm going local today. Both Lopez Island Vineyards and San Juan Island Vineyards have a white blend, and I don't know if I wrote the price down on them, so I might not be able to give you the price. I'll put it down below when I load up the information. That's how long it's been since I've shot a video. I think it's been probably well over a month since I've recorded one of these, and sometimes you just get a little bit out of sync. I'll be back in order very soon. I'm still in the garage. I love this spot. Don't know where I'll be shooting in the future, but for now, I really enjoy doing it here. It fits in with the theme of Blue Collar Wine Guy. So let's get started right away. And I also wanted to mention that I was going to try and shorten the videos just a little bit, do a few less wines, not extend them too far. Try to make them, around 15 minutes, I think, is enough of me to watch. That's the way I feel about it. Anyway, I don't know, maybe you enjoy watching more, I don't know. First one is San Juan Vineyards Mona Vino Blanc. Mona Vino Blanc. White table wine, a blend of Madeleine Angevine and Gewürztraminer. Madeleine Angevine and Zigareba, excuse me. Because Zigareba is a blend of Madeleine, and not a blend, but a hybrid of a cross between Madeleine Angevine and Gewürztraminer. Spit that out. So this is Madeleine Angevine and Zigareba, two grapes that they grow here on the island, San Juan Island, out at San Juan Vineyards. Because of the Pacific Northwest, you cannot grow red grapes. A few have successfully grown Pinot Noir over here, most notably Mount Baker Vineyards. But generally speaking, you can only grow white varietals on the west side of the Cascades in the state of Washington. Of course, everything else goes on the eastern side of the Cascades, where it's desert-like over there. Actually is a desert. So this rolls in at $14. I do know that because I sell it at the store and I see it all the time. And that camel they have on the label, that is the camel that lives across the road from San Juan Vineyards. Steve King's camel, Mona. Sometimes it's quite an attraction. People will stop by and feed it. I think they've asked them not to feed the camel anymore. But it's pretty cool having a camel just off of Roach Harbor Road. So, a blend of Zigareba and Madeleine Angevine. Let's see what we get on the nose. I haven't tried these in a long time, so I'm kind of curious. A lot of grapefruit right off the bat. I get grapefruit immediately. I get a little bit of white flowers, maybe, I don't know, carnation, apple blossoms. But definitely, wine's a little bit cold, and I think I mentioned this to you before, and I think it's fair to rate these wines or to review these wines based on how I know most of you will drink them. And, if I could have a raise of hands here, I bet most of the audience, if there was an audience here, would raise their hand and say, yes, I drink my white wines cold. And I know there's a few of you out there, and it's not a bad idea sometimes to warm up your whites just a little bit. You get more out of it, that's for sure. Especially aromatically, you get more out of it. I get a little bit of minerality on this, which I like a lot. I mean, like wet rock. I'm even getting a little petrol. And that isn't because I'm in the garage. The garage is really clean. So that isn't it, if that's what you guys were thinking. Of course he smells petrol. He's in a garage. I don't think this garage has seen a car parked in it in a long time. A long time. Anyway. Yeah, definitely white flowers, a little bit of carnation, grapefruit, and some wet rock. And a little bit of like a little bit of rubber, like petroleum. Let's see what we get on the palate. I'm really liking it. It's so much different than the nose. And that could be because it's a little cold, like I'm saying. But on the palate, definitely apples and pears come through big time. I mean, that's basically what I'm getting. And that white flower element, almost like carnations, very light carnation, not heavy, is coming through also. Get that Zigareba coming through, and Zig is one of their trademark wines out of San Juan Vineyards. Very floral because it is a cross between Gewürztraminer and Madeleine Angevine. You get that real floral quality, but it's very dry. It's the same way. Pears and apples get a little bit of that carnation kind of white flower thing going on. A little bit of wet stone on the backside. You get a lot of, not a lot, a fair hit of fruit on the mid palate, but then it finishes dry. Kind of thins out just a little bit on the finish. Not terrible. Good wine. I think this is a really well-made wine. This is one of those kind of whites I think that you could bring to any party, and you know, most people would like it. It's one of those kind of wines that's kind of across the board. I think a lot of people would like it. I do like that fruit on the mid palate. I think it's a little thin on the finish, but not bad. I'm going to go B- on that. I think that's a good effort by San Juan Vineyards. So that it's a non-vintage, I guess. I never really thought of it, but this must be just a blend they do. This could be from their recent 2015, but I don't think so. I think this is their 14 juice, but it's non-vintage. At least I don't see one on there. Anyway, I'm going to go like C+, B-. Good wine, above average. Like I said, a crowd pleaser. Let's move on. Lopez Island Vineyards, Wavecrest White, Puget Sound appellation. That was Washington State, by the way, the Monavino. It's Puget Sound appellation from organically grown grapes. Okay? Let me give you a zoom up. Sorry about the sample right on the front. I don't think, I wasn't sure if I was going to use this, but that's their label. I think this is about the same. I think it's $15. Around the same as the San Juan Vineyards. Don't hold me to it, but I'm pretty sure it's close. And if you look in the bottom of the video, I'll have the actual price written down. And I asked Brent to fire me the composition on this wine. It's a 75% Madeleine Angevine, 22% Zigareba, and 3% Gewürztraminer. So it's a little bit different on that blend, but pretty much the same. Kind of the same idea. Let's see what we get on the nose. It's kind of fun to, you know, have this little challenge between the local boys and girls here on San Juan Island and Lopez Island. Now this is stinky, okay? This has a stink factor. Now, I know a lot of you probably, ooh, why I don't want to do stinky. I actually like stinky. Sometimes wines, if they put off a little bit of that stinkified thing, you end up liking the wine on the palate. You have to get past that. So if you're a new wine drinker, you're just starting, and you open this wine and you smell it and you go, oh boy, I really don't like that smell. Don't let that stop you from trying it. A lot of times you'll find out that that stinkified sort of odd smell doesn't translate into the palate. This has more like a pine needle sort of element. It's like fir and pine needles. I get a little bit of orange peel, which I find very interesting. It definitely has this edge of stinkiness. It's not a bad thing. I mean, it's not like stinky, like poopy diapers or anything like that. It's just a little bit kind of stinky, like maybe maybe like composted needles or something. There's a little bit of wet stone coming through on that. This one's a little more golden. Let me grab another glass. I just want you guys to see this. Hopefully I haven't lost some of my audience because I haven't done one in a while. You got to keep going with these things. And yeah, here I'm going to just do a little tight up, okay? Tight, okay? And I just want you to, hopefully you can see just a little, look at the difference in color. I think it's pretty obvious, the difference in color there. Yeah, they're much more golden. This is the Lopez Island Vineyards Wavecrest White, Puget Sound appellation. Yeah, interesting on the nose. I do get that kind of like I said, fir needles, almost like they're decomposing fir and pine needles. And that orange peel comes through. Let's see what we get on the palate. Huge difference. I got a lot of apples and pears on the San Juan Vineyards. On this one, it's very citrified. I get like, you just bit into an orange with a little bit of lemon on the back end. That interesting pine needle thing comes through. Interesting one. I'm trying to think of what I'd compare it to. It's not really a Sauvignon Blanc like, because of that heavy citrus element that comes through. And I mean like bright mouth-watering citrus. It might remind me a little bit of a Chablis-like, if you can picture that kind of Chablis-like, but not totally entirely Chablis-like, because it doesn't have that, that chalkiness, that slate thing that goes on with the fossilized seashells that you get in a Chablis, but it has that same kind of brightness on it. But this is more in the tangerine orange, a little bit of lemon mixed in sort of thing. And it's like you almost bit into the lemon rind just a little bit. And that, I just can't get past that slight pine needle thing. Now this would be perfect with clams, with oysters, with mussels. I mean, it just has that kind of citrusy, clean brightness to it. Whereas the San Juan Vineyards blend had a bigger, richer mid-palate to it than this does. Entirely different wines. Entirely different. And I like them both equally, but in different ways. And, it just depends on what you're doing, what you're eating. It has a lot to do with it. This is a good, the San Juan Vineyards Monavino, great for on the deck, with friends. You're enjoying just a glass of white wine. You don't really want to think about it a lot. You just want to enjoy it. That's what that is. This is more of a food wine. Definitely shellfish for sure. Very bright, very bright. Like I said, equal is good. So I'm going to go C plus B minus on this one too. I think it's a good wine. I might hedge more toward, C plus B minus. Might hedge more towards a B minus on this one than the San Juan Vineyards. But they're both really good in different ways. And stylistically, they're a lot different. I'm glad I got to try them, because if I'm recommending them, I want to know, are you going to have this? And there are people that like this kind of bright, citrusy style of wine, even just sitting on the deck. This one's a little bit too acidic, too citrusy. I think I couldn't just sit down without something to eat with this. I just think it's more of a food wine for sure. Thanks for watching. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.